Before the world took shape, before land rose from the deep or sky stretched above it, there was only the unseen. It was vast, endless, and silent. Yet within it, something stirred, not as sound, not as form, but as presence. From that presence came the first expressions of being. Among them stood two brothers. The elder was Thor, a force of raw power, thunder without restraint, strength without stillness. He moved like a storm, his presence shaking the fabric of existence itself. But he was not alone. After him came his younger brother, the second son, born not of chaos, but of luminous force. This was Ra, formed through the essence of Hathor, the great mother of radiance, beauty, and cosmic balance. Where Thor embodied force without direction, Ra became force with purpose. He was not thunder, he was light. He did not strike blindly, he saw. Ra emerged as a being of blazing clarity, crowned with the sun, his falcon gaze stretching across the void. He did not simply exist, he defined existence. Where he looked, the world responded. Where he willed, form appeared. And from him came the eye. The eye was not merely sight, it was his extension, his power made independent. It could leave him, act for him, and return carrying the weight of what it had done. When imbalance threatened the forming world, the eye moved outward. It burned, it judged, it corrected. It became a force no disorder could withstand. This was the first expression of power, the eye that acts. Yet even as Ra brought order, existence deepened. From him came another, his son, not of surface light, but of deeper purpose. This was Osiris. Osiris did not rise into the sky like his father. He descended. He became the ruler of what lay beyond sight, the realm beneath form, beneath breath, beneath life itself. Where Ra governed existence, Osiris governed what remained when existence ended. He was calm where Ra was radiant, still where Ra moved. But Osiris did not vanish, he transformed. He rose again, not as ruler of the living, but as lord of the unseen. In him, death became passage, and destruction became transformation. Through Osiris, power changed. It was no longer only force, it became endurance. This was the second expression of power, the power that transforms. But transformation alone cannot complete the cycle. What is broken and remade must return. And so, from Osiris, something unprecedented came into being. A child. Not born in the open light, but emerging from the union of loss and restoration. This was Horus. Horus was different from all who came before him. Ra existed beyond form. Osiris ruled beyond life. But Horus walked within the world. For the first time, the lineage that began in the unseen took physical form. He breathed. He moved. He stood upon the earth itself. When he was seen, he carried the falcon form of his grandfather, but he was no distant force. He was present, embodied, real. Yet the world he entered was not at peace. The fracture that had broken Osiris still echoed. Disorder remained. And so Horus rose, not as a passive heir, but as a restorer. He fought. He endured. But what had been broken did not remain so. Like his father before him, Horus did not end in loss. And in that restoration, the final form of power emerged. Not force alone, not transformation alone, but wholeness after loss. This was the third expression of power, the power that restores and lives. And so the lineage stood complete. Ra, the younger son of Hathor, who brought light and order into being. Osiris, the fallen and risen king, who transformed death into passage. Horus, the living embodiment, who carried divine power into the physical world. 3 generations, 3 stages, 1 continuous force. But Horus was not the end. He was the beginning, for when he stood upon the earth, he did not stand alone. Those who came after looked to him not as distant, but as origin. In him they saw the moment when divine power crossed into flesh. Through him the unseen became human. Through him the lineage continued, and the eye remained, not as symbol, not as ornament, but as memory, of power that acts, of power that transforms, of power that restores, and of the moment when light itself became flesh and walked among the world it once only shaped.